So I'm at East Zion Resorts, which is about 20 minutes from the east entrance to Zion National Park in Utah and about 45, 50 minutes from Bryce Canyon. So I'm in a town called Orderville, and they have 6 tiny homes that are over here on this side of the park, and then they have another 20 that's about a mile up the road that are yurts and glamping tents and tree houses and a lot of other tiny homes that are there. But right now, my family of 6, so it's myself and my wife, and I have 4 kids that range from 15 down to 5, and we're staying here in this tiny home. And I wanted to give you guys a tour here and then show you as many tiny homes as we can as we get through this. But I'll get to as many questions as I can at the end. Go ahead and ask them as you're going through here, and I'll see how many I can go back through and answer when I get to the end here. But I'll start with the tour. Let's head outside just a little bit. See if it's not too breezy. I want to give you guys an idea of what this tiny house looks like. So these have rooftop decks on them. So there's 2 of these ones that are side by side, and then there's another 4. These are built for 6. So 4 on the main level, 2 up top in loft. Let's head inside and take a look real quick. Hey, bud. You don't have to be shy. It's all right. Okay, so right when you walk in, bedroom to the left, master bedroom here. So king size bed. Obviously, you got the ceiling fan, lights above. And you have closet space to the right as well. Give me an idea of what the closet looks like here. So water heater is here. This is all hooked up to city utilities for water, power, and sewer. And then to the left as you pan around, TV's in here as well. Place to put your luggage or anything else that you need to inside the home. Out here in the hallway, first door on the left is bathroom. Obviously, it's a mess because we just got back from canyoneering. But again, regular flushing toilet, tile in the shower, glass doors, really sturdy, well put together. They have a great setup in here. And then everything for the vanity. Granite countertops. It's actually a tile floor. And then out here in the living room and kitchen area. The bed, these are my 2 oldest. You guys say hi. Yeah. Yep. Kitchenette. Appliances that are set up. So full-size fridge, microwave, cooktop, and then dishwasher there as well. And then the full-size couch folds out into a queen-size bed. So we just move the coffee table out of the way. And then a lot of natural light, a lot of windows. So it works really well in here. And then a view back down the hallway. Let's cruise upstairs here to the loft space where we have room for 2 more. So another king-size bed up in the loft. Oh, there's Chanel, just hanging out. What are you guys watching?
The Big Show.
The Big Show. Okay. So I have 2 or 3 kids that are typically going to stay up here. But you have 3.5 feet, almost 4 feet of height in this loft space. You can go higher if you need to, but these bigger homes have that much headroom. Then let's try going up top. Might be a little bit breezy. Let's try going up top and see what that looks like so you can get a better view of the entire park here. All right. It's a gorgeous day. You also have a fire pit in between the 2 units. Place to lounge. I'm going to turn this around so you guys can see where I'm going. It might get a little breezy, so I apologize if the noise is bad. Concrete stairs on the way up. Really nice lounge space. Again, it got a little breezy, so I blew that pad off of there. But both of these tiny homes have rooftop decks. And then the surrounding, you have 4 more tiny homes here. And a treehouse built in the distance there. So that treehouse in particular was a tree that was dying. So he cut off the branches from up top, hollowed out the interior, and there's a rock climbing wall up the inside. I'd take you through that unit, but somebody's staying in it right now. Yeah, so this is one of our favorite places to stay across the country. We've been through quite a few different tiny home communities, tiny home resorts. Obviously, building tiny homes, container homes, tree houses. It's a lot of fun going through them. This is one of our favorite places to stay because, one, we live in Utah. We love Zion National Park. And we love taking the family through. But it's also very well done. And it fits my family of 6, which is not easy to do in a tiny home. To sleep 6 is pretty impressive. So I'm going to take you on a walk through the other ones here in just a little bit. Before I get to the other tiny homes, what questions do you guys want answered here? Cruise through some of these and see what we got. Is the camera work that bad? Is it just really, really bad? Can't see what's going on? All right. All right, I can cruise back through here and see if it'll make it better if I'm actually in it to make sure you're seeing the right stuff, right? So again, in the master bedroom, okay, king size bed here in the master bed. And then down the hall on my right is going to be the bathroom. Then vanity for the bathroom as well. Plenty of storage space, especially for a rental unit. And then here in the hallway, you also have a full-size washer dryer. We'll just keep coming down the hall here. So granite countertops, you're on here. Single basin for the sink. And then give you a view of the cooktop, microwave, full-size fridge as well. And then we can cruise back upstairs here. Do you guys turn the lights off on me? Saying hi to everybody. Uh, yep. Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Let me go back outside here. We'll try this one more time. I apologize if I'm making you dizzy. I'm trying to make this as smooth as possible. So again, outdoor space. These both have rooftop decks on them. It's phenomenal for stargazing at nighttime. And give you a view of the other tiny homes that they have here. And then if you go another mile up the road past these tiny homes, he's got another 20 tiny homes that are sitting up there. There are tree houses and yurts and glamping tents. There's a lot to do here. So right now we are 20 minutes outside of the east entrance to Zion National Park and 45 to 50 minutes from Bryce National Park, Bryce Canyon. So it's a great location. If you're just looking for a place to stay in a tiny home, try it out, see if it's something that you can handle. East Zion Resort here is a phenomenal location to try that out. And then this one has the deck on here as well. Let's go walking around here a little bit. Chickens running around. These units will sleep 4. So they'll have a loft space and a main level as well. The one that I was just in will sleep 6. These all have really nice fire pits in between them and plenty of places to lounge with your family. And yeah, we'll cruise back inside and we can get you guys' questions answered. Not just about East Zion Resort here, but just tiny homes in general. Okay, so what questions can we get answered for you guys? What do you want to know about tiny homes in general? And I gotta get all the way there. All the way to the bottom. Okay, so right now I'm located at East Zion Resort. Okay, so I'm in Orderville, Utah. It's about 4 hours south of Salt Lake City, to give you an idea. Beautiful location, plenty of red rock around. It's a little closer to Zion National Park than it is Bryce Canyon, but you can go to either one. It's also only an hour from Lake Powell and the North Rim for the Grand Canyon, so you're not far from a lot of really gorgeous places that you want to be. This home in particular has one main level bedroom and then a pull-out couch out in the living room, and then a loft space up top that has a king size bed. But you could put 2 twins. You could literally put 2 queens that'll fit up there, but it'll easily sleep 6 people comfortably in this particular home. Let's see. Communities exist on the East Coast. They aren't as popular on the East Coast. I wish I had a good answer for that. They're not there yet. They will be there. They will absolutely be there. There are a few that are towards the east. You get out there into Lancaster, into Pennsylvania. There's places down in Florida as well, and also up in New York in the Catskills. There are tiny home resorts that are out there. So somebody just asked if we live in this one. We don't live in this home. This is a rental tiny home. We actually travel around from tiny home to tiny home. We do have our own home that's up in Lehigh in Utah as well. But we like to travel from tiny home to tiny home to check them out and to show people the options available that you can go rent them in a lot of different places around the country. That way you could try it out for a couple of days or a week or even a month. There are some longer term rentals available, so you know if it's something that fits right for you, both for your budget, figure out your style, figure out what you really need to pare down on. if you need all the clothes that you think you do, all the shoes you think you do, all the kids' toys, athletic equipment, all those kind of things, right? You have to think about all that and where you're going to put it. So this has been a phenomenal way for us to try everything out and see what works best and to hopefully help other people understand and educate a little bit more on what it takes to really downsize into your tiny home. This particular location, they don't live full time year round, so this really is just a rental. So I think they do up to a month long rental, but it will depend on the type of tiny home. Again, they have tiny homes, yurts, glamping tents, tree houses. They have a couple container homes as well that are down here. Beautiful setups with views. They're absolutely phenomenal. And right now they're actually running, because of what's happening with the coronavirus and COVID-19, they're running a couple of promotions that anything that's bought now, I think, is a 20% discount. Go to their website. It's eastzionresort.com. And then they can redeem them over the next few years with no blackout dates. They have some pretty cool promotions that they're running here at East Zion Resort. My main profession, that's a dang good question. I get asked that a lot. So I do, essentially it's marketing is the short answer, right? For tiny homes, I also manufacture container homes. We ship those worldwide. We don't do a whole lot here in the United States yet, but most of what we do gets sent to China and Australia and New Zealand. And then I just do marketing essentially through Instagram and a couple of other platforms, both for tiny homes and some other products as well. Right now, somebody was asking how the rentals are in this particular environment. It's rough across the country. There's a lot of people that canceled all over the country, not just for tiny homes, but Airbnbs and rentals in general, because everybody is afraid of what's going on. My first suggestion is do what's best for you. Stay safe. Don't do anything that's going to jeopardize you or your family or anybody else. But when the time is right and it is safe to do so, I would highly recommend visiting tiny house resorts. Again, they absolutely need the help, and a lot of these are in smaller towns. So, like where I am in Orderville, everything runs off of rental properties. Everything runs off of people coming into town to visit the national parks. And the national parks are closed. Nobody comes through town. So all your local restaurants, gas stations, everything closes down. Anybody that wants my contact information, feel free to find me at Tiny House Movement on Instagram or on Facebook. Easiest way to contact me is just DM me there. Again, it's just Tiny House Movement on Instagram. But tiny homes are phenomenal, you guys. They're a phenomenal way to not only understand more about yourself and what you really need in life and what you don't need in life, probably more importantly, but they help bring more of a sense of community, that small town feel that helps you get to know your neighbors a little bit more, again, when it's safe to do so. But get to know your neighbors a little bit more, get to travel a little bit more. To me, the biggest benefit that tiny homes bring for people is allowing them to save money on their rent and on their mortgage so they can travel the country and even the world and see really what they want to see. And you can stay in tiny homes all over the planet. It's not just where I'm at in Orderville. There's tiny homes all over the place. So you definitely want to do that. Somebody was asking about financing and building your own house. There are so many different variables to that question. It's a very loaded question. It all depends on where you live, the type of home that you are building, if it's hooked up to city utilities for water, power, and sewer, if it's going to be on a foundation, if it's going to be on footings, if it's going to be a though and on wheels. There are a lot of different variables you want to go through. So the first thing I would do is call your local planning and zoning commission, ask them where you can put the home that you're looking to build. So be very specific with them about what you're looking to build and let them know as many details as you can so they can point you in the right direction. Then from there, once you know where you can put it, you can go to your local bank or credit union to let them know. A lot of people use RV loans right now just because most people have an RVIA certification right now with tiny house builders on wheels. A lot of people have gone that road. There are a few banks starting to lend on tiny homes on wheels that are more specific to your traditional throws versus using an RVIA certification. One in particular is Liberty Bank out of Salt Lake City in Utah. They're starting to do loans that do up to, I believe, 20 plus years, which is a lot, but they do loans up to 23 years. And I think they go up to $100,000 that the loan on. So obviously that will depend on your personal credit situation. And again, a lot of variables to that. But you can check out Liberty Bank in Salt Lake City in Utah. And they have a list of builders that are already pre-qualified, ready to go. So if you're looking for financing for your tiny homes, they're a great option for you. Here at East Zion Resorts, I don't believe they allow pets in most of the units, but again, I would check their particular website at eastzionresort.com. Again, eastzionresort.com for that. And they should give you all the information that you need about whether they allow pets in all of their rentals, in one of their rentals, in a few of them, or none of them. I don't have any pets that I bring with me, but there are quite a few options around, even if you can't bring them in the homes. Yeah, that's a great point. So somebody's asking me about loans, RV loans from places like Lightstream. Lightstream is a phenomenal organization, but they're not the easiest to get qualified for. So again, there are a lot of prerequisites that you need. And because the tiny house movement, specifically for tiny homes on wheels, is not, it's not something that's been established for 25 or 30 years, banks and credit unions, they don't have all the data that they would like to see in order to make essentially an educated guess on what a tiny home on wheels is going to be worth 5 or 10 years from now. So if they try to sell that note, just like what happens with your mortgage, if they try to sell that note, they need to know what that's going to be worth 5 years from now. So when someone's going to buy it, that's the information they're looking for. There really isn't enough data, and that's why it's been so hard to get traditional banks and credit unions on board with them. But there are some that are coming along for that. So still be on the lookout and try to make that happen. Yeah, I understand if you can't go somewhere without your pets. That's I completely understand. If you have dogs or cats or whatever pets that you have with you, there are a lot of options for that. Um, Pet Gazebo is a phenomenal one. I know they have one here, so it actually sits out on the porch that you can keep your pets outside. They'll fit in a tiny home. They make them as small as 3 feet, but they do have them outside as well. This one in particular, so somebody was asking what the average rental and minimum is. I think they do 1 night minimums. I don't think they have to do 2 or 3 nights. And that might vary depending on the type of tiny home or yurt or container home that you're renting there, and the season. That might change with the season as well. But the minimum I think here is $65 a night, I want to say. There are a couple, again, it depends on the tiny home. But I would check out the actual website, eastzionresort.com. And they have a bunch of vouchers they're running right now at 25% off. So you can get that now and then travel whenever it is safe to travel in order to do so. Let's see. What features in various tiny homes have you appreciated the most? Oh, man, that's a great question. Being a father of 4, being able to fit my 4 kids is the most important for me. I like to be able to travel with my kids when I go to them. Other than that, having activities that are close to the home itself are really what we look for. So today, for example, we went canyoneering in the Slot Canyons in Orderville, literally a 10-minute drive from where we are. And because the park isn't open yet still, even the national parks aren't open yet, state parks are. But even with the park being closed, I can still go rappelling, I can still go canyoneering, I can still go on hikes. Those are the kind of things that I look for near tiny homes, or having activities that are kid-friendly to really go do, even if it's just there for a night or two. For me, it's really important to be able to include my kids with that. Yes, somebody mentioned Tiny Estates in Pennsylvania has units that allow pets. That's a phenomenal place in Pennsylvania. I would definitely check them out if you're in that region. Do you have any tips on making tiny houses more environmentally friendly? There are a lot of options for that, but again, it all depends on how you're going to use that. From the materials used, from insulation to the wood that's used to anything that's reclaimed, to the hookups that you have, if you're going to be completely on-grid or off-grid. I would figure out what's most important to you. Some people don't have any problem being completely off-grid, including your plumbing. Some people don't want anything to do with composting toilets or incinerating toilets. So figure out what is absolutely best for you, what's important to you specifically. Not what looks good on Instagram, not what looks good on TV or anything else. Figure out what works for you and then move forward with your plan for that to fit your budget. Tiny homes in Georgia. I've actually only been to one tiny house resort in Georgia. It was up at Lake Burton, about an hour and a half to 2 hours north of Atlanta. And it was drop dead gorgeous. Lake Burton was absolutely phenomenal. If you're in that area, I would definitely check that out. How far are you from the nearest school? Where we are here, I mean, I live about 4 hours north near Salt Lake City. In Orderville, they do have all of their own schools for that as well. I'm literally a stone's throw away from the local junior high. No, I don't think they have any restrictions on if you have alcohol or something like that. I don't believe they allow smoking here. I would double check with that. I don't think smoking is allowed, but I don't think they have any problems with alcohol. Let's see. Tiny houses or places in Maryland. Off the top of my head, I don't have any recommendations for a place to stay in Maryland. Unfortunately, I wish I did. My website, I really use it as a blog. It's just tinyhousemovement.co if you want more information on that. I try to really highlight everybody else's tiny homes and their situations. That's really my whole goal with my Instagram page at Tiny House Movement, is to highlight the amazing builds that other people do. I have my own, but that's my own. Other people have phenomenal tiny homes. There are so many builders that I'm sure you guys have seen throughout this conference that build some of the coolest homes and features that you can fit in less than 400 square feet. I'm always in awe when I find a new tiny house and how they figured out a way to either get certain cabinets in or those type of countertops or flooring, or where they put the bathroom, or where the washer dryer winds up if it's a combo unit. There's a lot there. New York City, I would head towards Catskills. There are a couple of resorts on the north end there in New York. Let's see. Maryland has Blue Moon. All right. Check that out if you have not. Again, Blue Moon Rising in McHenry, Maryland. Definitely check that out. I haven't been to Maryland personally. I would absolutely love to. If you guys have recommendations for tiny house resorts that I haven't found yet, send them to me, please. I would love to. And when it's safe to travel, I'm absolutely up for taking my kids again and finding new tiny house resorts all over the country. What other questions, you guys? Do you have questions about tiny homes in general, of how they're built, or any particular builders that you're looking for, or other places outside of the country, anything like that you guys are looking for? Getting sick and kind of just sitting around here. Should we walk out in the living room? So again, this is East Side Resort. I will do that, Tara. I'm absolutely going to check out Blue Moon Rising. It sounds phenomenal. You got your chips? So these are 3 of my kids. So Chanel, how old are you, Chanel? Are you really going to hide? What are you doing? You going to hide? Mm-hmm. Chanel. So Chanel, Braxton, and Peyton. Chanel's 8, Braxton's 15, Peyton's 13. They're all a little too cool right now, apparently. Yeah, just hanging out. Thank you guys so much for joining. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, hit up Jason at tinyhouse.com. If you want to find any other tiny homes or anything else that we do, it's just Tiny House Movement on Instagram. But a huge thank you to Jason, to everybody that has set this up and bringing people together. This is a strange time that we live in, but we can definitely come together, especially in the tiny house movement. We can absolutely come together. I think this sense of community has always been there for tiny homes in general, both as builders, as consumers, as rental properties, anything with that. So I'm very thankful to everybody that's not only attending this, but that is spreading the word on tiny homes in general to help people understand how important not only affordable housing is, but just to have more options when it comes to housing. It's a phenomenal way to do it. I just got all the pieces. Really? Hey, guess what? I'm still on a conference right now. What did you get? This is my youngest, the one that was too shy. No, I got. What'd you get? I got the new Santa guy from my. You got the new Santa guy. In my life. On your life. I have no idea what that means, but yes, he got the new Santa guy on his Lego thing. Again, you guys, if you have any questions, Jason is a phenomenal resource at tinyhouse.com. If you need anything from me in particular, it's just Tiny House Movement on Instagram or tinyhousemovement.co. But yeah, check it out. And then again, if you find more tiny houses, rental properties, builders, doesn't matter where it is, if it's in the United States or outside the United States, send them to me because I want to be able to feature them and check out the tiny homes that they build as well. So again, it's great seeing you guys. Have fun. Thank you.